Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Shrikant, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And I'm getting ready to listen to your independent speaking task. Okay, I'm going to take a look in just a minute and see which one it is. Alright, so you're doing independent speaking practice test number 38. Let's take a look at what this one is. So we have, when choosing university, what is the most important thing a person should consider? Give reasons and details to support your response.
Important things which I considered when choosing a university because of the academic allocations and tuition fees. First of all, I consider the most important things when choosing a university.
Okay, when you say that word academic, you have academic. Remember, with word stress, you have one of the syllables is the stress syllable. You need to make that clearer, longer, louder, and also higher pitch. So you would say academic, qualifications, and then you say and tuition fee, right?
Because the academic qualifications, for example, the minimum academic criteria are the most important factor which I consider for choosing admission to the university. Because the institutions will have requirements such as GPA, English proficiency, and other company results. Second of all, I also consider the most important thing when choosing a university because of the tuition fees. For instance, the tuition fee is the most important factor which I consider for choosing a university because they paying my semester fee in appropriate time until completing master's degree. As usual, I consider most important thing for choosing a university for a board reasons.
Okay, what I would do is, instead of talking about academic qualifications and tuition fees, I would focus on one or the other. Now, I want to help you with a word order issue. So you say, first of all, I consider the most important things. So when you say academic qualifications, I would say this sentence like this, Shrikant. I would say, I consider academic qualifications as one of the most important things when choosing a university. That's how I would say that. Then when you go to the next one, you have the same grammatical problem both times. This is a word order issue. You have, I also consider tuition fees as one of the most important things when choosing a university. So you want to say it that way, not the way that you said it there. So you had considerable language use issues here. With your pronunciation, I think it's a combination of problems with intonation, but also you're having some problems with word stress. And remember, word stress affects your intonation because you have to identify the stressed syllable in the word and then make that stressed syllable clearer, louder, longer, and higher pitched, which you're not really doing. So because you're not making that stressed syllable higher pitched, it's also affecting your overall intonation when you're speaking. So I would suggest that you really need to master the word stress areas and the intonation areas and pretty much all the other areas of my pronunciation area in my course, right? You really got to work on that intelligibility. So here, I think overall, topic development, my main suggestion is I would say focus on just one of those factors, not both, and that would help you with your development. Language use, you're having problems with your sentence structure and your word order, and also delivery issues. So I'm going to put you at about 1.5 out of 4, 11 points out of 30, on this particular practice test. So you guys at YouTube, you just heard this guy. So he's very hardworking, very good student, but he just has a ways to go. So he's still trying to solve considerable language use issues. Once he can solve those things, it'll be easier for him to express his ideas using the appropriate grammar, I think, and vocabulary. So it'll take him some time. For him, he wants to get over 100. I told him probably minimum 6 months or more. It's going to take him a while to overcome those issues. I'm going to go ahead and upload my speaking response to, so he can get my comments. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Chuanrod, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And thank you for completing. I think you're doing independent speaking practice test number 10. So would you like to travel or stay at home when taking a vacation?
I like to travel when I have a vacation because when I'm traveling, I can relax and experience things at the same time.
When you say experience, don't forget to pronounce that S at the end. Now you got to speed up. You got to speak a little bit faster than what you're doing, because it's going to be hard for you in 45 seconds to give some good specific details at your current pace.
Whereas when I'm staying at home, I can just relax. For example,
no, I can just relax. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. Let me go back to that beginning part again.
I like to travel when I have a vacation because when I'm traveling, I can relax and experience things at the same time. Whereas when I'm staying at home, I can just relax. For example, when I go to a beach, I can relax by seeing waves, playing in the ocean and getting some air. And I can dive into the water to experience life under the sea.
That was good. I like that experience idea, so I think that's a good example.
I like to travel when when I'm staying at home. I can just relax. For example, when I go to a beach, I can relax by seeing waves, playing in the ocean and getting some air.
So seeing, playing, getting, so that's good parallelism. So you're using 3 gerunds there, so that's pretty good control with your language use.
And I can dive into the water to experience life under the sea.
Okay, so that's it. So I think overall, let me take a look at the rubrics here. So I think you're doing a pretty good job with your language use and topic development. However, with delivery, with your pacing, you're speaking slowly, so it's hard for you to give enough examples or details in there because you are speaking so slowly. So you need to make some progress with, it's called thought groups and blending. You can learn more about that by going to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44 in my online TOEFL course. So I think overall, I'm going to say you had some delivery issues with this one. That's the main area that you probably need to work on. So I'm going to put you at about 2.6 out of 4, 20 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Okay, now in this case, you're focusing on the S and the Z consonant sounds, right? So let's take a look. Let's see how you did with this one. So you have 5 different sentences that you're practicing here.
Gasoline leaf blowers, which have a muzzle velocity of 150 miles per hour or more, blow away topsoil and ground cover which, if left in place, would help soil to hold precious moisture and would minimize the number of times plants have to be watered.
Okay, you're pronouncing everything. The Z, you have to pronounce with a little more vibration. For example, the word blowers or miles. You have times, minimize. But when you're speaking quickly, we don't do it as clearly as that, but just be careful about the Z consonant sound.
If the wire is bent into a coil called a solenoid, the magnetic field of the individual loops combine to produce a strong field through the core of the coil.
Pretty good. You're pronouncing most of your sounds pretty clearly.
Another relationship between electricity and magnetism is that a regular...
I would pause here. I would say another relationship between electricity and magnetism is that a regularly changing electric current...
change electric current in a conductor will create a change magnetic field in the space about the conductor, which in turn gives rise to a changing electrical field.
Good. Gives rise to a changing electrical field. Now maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe the best way to pause in the beginning is right after is, not before. So another relationship between electricity and magnetism is that a regularly changing electric current in a conductor will create a changing magnetic field in the space about the conductor, which in turn gives rise to a changing electrical field.
In this way, regularly oscillating electric and magnetic fields can generate each other. These fields can be visualized as a single wave that is propagating through space.
Okay.
Associative learning involves the association of time sequences, an example of which is classical conditioning. Gasoline leaf blowers, which have a muzzle velocity of 150 miles per hour or more, blow away topsoil and ground cover which, if left in place, would help soil to hold precious moisture and would...
Okay, so I think we're good there. So I think overall, for the most part, you're pronouncing the S and the Z. The Z you want to pronounce with a little bit more vibration. That would be my main comment based on the voice recording that you submitted for today. All right? And you also have another question that you send in the email. I'm gonna think about this question and take some time to write your response to it. So it may take me a couple of days to get that one done. All right? And thank you for completing this exercise. Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for Colin, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. It's hard to believe the email you sent me, really. I'm going to be honest with you, but crazy things happen with the TOEFL exam, and from what you're telling me, Kyle, it is I know in our situation, you've been working on the speaking section of the TOEFL exam. I think the last 3 or 4 exams you took, you got 24 points consecutively. Finally, you got over 26 on the speaking, right? But then you got 22 points on the writing. The only thing I can say is crap. Man, that is just bad luck. So I'm very sorry that I have to see you again. We do not want to, I like having you as a student, don't get me wrong, but your English skills are already so high. You don't need to be focusing around this. You need to move on with your life. So just keep a careful balance right now. And the next thing is, make sure you're doing a little bit of reading and listening practice too, because you don't want to take the test next time, pass the writing and speaking, and then fail the reading or the listening. We don't want to do that either, right? So just keep a good balance, with the 4 areas of the TOEFL. And with my course, probably make sure you're doing some writing practice and then speaking practice, kind of doing both of them to just keep your skills high. And hopefully the next time you take it, it will be the last time. And maybe before you do that, you might want to take a full-length IBT practice test. I have a partner website called Score Nexus, and you can take a practice test with them just to kind of see where you are. If you feel good about your practice score, then you can register to take the official TOEFL exam. But I'm just very, very sorry for your situation. All right, let's listen to your response to 162.
Personally, I prefer to rent a house rather than buy one because renting is cheaper and more convenient than buying houses. First of all, I prefer to rent a house because it is cheaper than buying one. I can pay a few amount of money every single month. Conversely, if I have to buy a house, I have to pay a lot amount of money. In addition to that, I prefer to rent a house because it is convenient. I can move to another house whenever I want. For example, if I have a job in another city, I can simply rent another house. But if I have the house, if I own that house, it won't be easy for me to sell it and find another house in another city. That's why I prefer renting. Personally, I prefer to rent.
Okay, I think overall on this one, let's go to the rubrics. So I think you had very good delivery, natural sounding intonation, appropriate pacing, good control of your language used with your grammar and your vocabulary. I think also you had a nice, coherent organization with appropriate supporting detail, right? So I don't really see any major problems with what you just did. So I'm going to put you at 26 points out of 30 on this particular practice test, or higher, right?